is Zentangles, the final project, part 1. So last week we learned how to create Zentangles by making patterns with repeated motifs. And remember the draw with me assignment? That's what you're looking at here, where we learned how to create Zentangles by making patterns with repeated motifs. This week, we are going to focus on the black and white design for the project. Now, here's a sneak peek. Next week, we're going to be learning about color schemes, and we'll be adding color next week. But don't worry about that this week. This week, all we're doing is just the black and white drawing. No color this week. Here are your step-by-step instructions. Step 1, get your paper. You need the larger white drawing paper that came in your art kit. And you need the larger paper because this drawing will end up being the cover of your sketchbook. We're going to sew your sketchbook together at the end of this project, and your drawing will be the front cover. Now, if you can't find your art kit, or if your larger paper got sort of like too crumpled to really use, just use regular paper. That's fine. Just make sure it's blank white paper, not lined paper. Step 2, create what's called the string. So the string is a series of lines that divides the drawing into sections, and you need at least 10 sections. So you can see here are 2 examples, and you can see the string has been drawn with black Sharpie, and that's what you're going to do. And the lines of this string goes from edge to edge. This goes across the whole paper. And these examples show you 2 different styles that you can give your string. On the left, you see a geometric style. In art, what geometric means is it has straight lines and sharp angles and pointy corners. It's not curvy, it's not wavy, it's not round. Geometric in art is just straight lines and sharp angles. On the right, the style you see there is organic. And in art, what organic means is soft, curvy, flowy lines. They sort of loop around. All right, there are no straight lines in organic. There are no sharp, pointy corners in organic. So here are 2 styles that you could use for your string. What do you think you're going to use? Which one? Step 3, after you draw your string, then you're going to begin drawing Zentangles in each section, filling up the space. So you can see here the Zentangles, they take up the entire space of this section, all right? They're not leaving any open areas within this section. All right, and make sure you have at least 10 sections. And look at the variety that they're using. There's a lot of different motifs here. There's zigzags, there's curved lines, there's half circles, there's circles, there's lots of different things going on. So draw slowly and carefully until your whole paper is filled with Zentangles, the whole thing. Fill your whole paper, and make sure that you use a variety of patterns and motifs. Use a skinny Sharpie for the fine lines and a regular Sharpie for filling in spaces, like on the checkerboards that you see here. All right, so I highly encourage you to just draw straight away with Sharpie. It will force you to go slowly. It will force you to draw carefully and focus on what you're doing. And because of that, your drawing will end up being better. So I highly encourage you to just draw straight away with Sharpie. Now, if you're just the kind of person, if you have to draw something in pencil to make sure you get it just right, just the way you want, you can do it. You can draw it in pencil first, but you then have to go over it all with Sharpie. So that is twice the work. So just so you know, all right? But either way is fine. Just make sure that you fill your paper and that everything is gone over with Sharpie. And here's a helpful hint. Leave a balance of black and white designs. Next week, we'll be adding color to the white shapes. So make sure that you have some areas that are sort of colored in dark and some areas that are left white, so we could add color to those next week. But again, remember, this week, no color. Got it? So do not add color this week. But before we start, let's talk about grading, because this is our first major multi-week art project. The projects we've done so far, they've just been 1 week long. Those were sort of like our warm-ups, but here's our first big project. So we want to make sure that you know how we grade big projects. So at Brunswick Junior High, we grade major projects using rubrics. So with rubrics, your artwork is graded on separate criteria. So you know ahead of time what the expectations are, so you know what to aim for. And also afterwards, you know how you got the grade that you got. You know where you earned points, you know where you lost points. So that's what's nice about the rubric, is it focuses on separate criteria. So here is what's on the rubric for the Zentangle final project. This is how your art project will be graded. There's 5 criteria we're looking for. Number 1, artwork shows at least 10 complex Zentangle patterns using a wide variety of motifs. So the keywords here are 10 patterns, variety of motifs. Number 2, artwork shows a specific color scheme. That's all I'm going to say about this right now, because color is next week. You don't need to think about color right now. Number 3, artwork shows neatly drawn details. That's something we're grading on this project, is how neatly your details are drawn. Number 4, creativity. We always look for creativity in final projects. Specifically, what we're looking for here is that motifs are elaborated on to create complex, unique patterns, and space is broken up in an interesting way. So I'm looking to see if you do something interesting with your string when you create all those different sections. Number 5, this is something new this year. All right, because you're not passing in your physical artwork. We're not collecting your drawings this year. You have to photograph your artwork and turn it in online. So this year, part of your grade will be the photograph itself. So what we need to see in your photograph is that the photograph of your artwork is in focus, it's close up, and it's well lit by natural light. So take your photograph during the daytime. Take it in a location where daylight will shine directly on your drawing. Not coming from behind the drawing, but light is shining directly on your drawing. You're going to have to find a way to take a photograph with light shining on the front of your artwork. Don't take it at night. Take it in the daytime. So when all of your sections are filled in with Zentangles, when the whole thing is filled in, take a photo, attach it to the assignment, and turn it in. All right, but remember, this week, all we're doing is black and white. No color this week. That's it. All righty, good luck.